Stop the steal. Now it's time to kick the tires and light the fires, Big Daddy. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this now. Let's get it started.
Warning.
Whoops.
Warning.
Wait. Oh shit. All right, we're gonna.
Warning.
This show contains mature content.
It does.
Listener discretion is advised.
Oh
Are you
yes,
ready
it
to
does.
get your mind blown?
One angry
decided
nigga.
to start a radio show
We did.
determined
To piss the world off.
in front of society's face. He kicked them in the balls.
What are you? Who are you?
This is the Crotch Shot Radio Show. Crotch Shot Radio Show.
This is not a test. This is a broadcast transmission.
We're going to stay on the air.
And now, the Whippy.
Yo! Welcome to the Crotch Shot Radio Show, where we kick the issues in the balls. We are on an active war against bullshit. We do anything and everything to expose bullshit. The ends sometimes justify the memes. So if you're angry and want the truth exposed, then strap in and prepare to be shocked. This is Smash Mouth Talk. If you can't accept that, then fuck off. I'm your host, Louie B. I takes no bullshit from nobody. I actually expose the bullshit of society and chop it up into easy to digest chunks for you. Today won't be any different. Today we're going to be talking about Maga March Madness. Yes, we're going to be talking about the Maga March, what happened. We're going to be talking about the cowardly Black Lives Matter, or the Black Lives Murder, as I like to call them, and Pantifa, those other cowards. And we have a special guest who was actually on the ground. Let me introduce him to you now. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you
how's it going, Louie?
statesman, researcher, scholar, a uniter within the patriot movement, one of Antifa's most hated foes. I proudly give to you Gabriel Brown.
Looks like I preempted your intro.
Yeah.
About that.
It
I
happens.
didn't know that. My apologies, but yeah, no, it is true. I was on the ground at the rally.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. And I got to tell you, it was an amazing sight what I saw.
Really?
A lot of amazing things. I must say.
What did you witness, my friend?
All right, so I honestly I witnessed a lot of the really good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the violence that occurred later, I got to see secondhand. So that's the only unfortunate part on my end that I have to report. But I'll get into details about the good stuff because lately we've been hearing a lot of bad stuff. I think it's good that we hear good stuff too. So I can give you that.
Okay. Let's do good news first, and we'll go into the bad news and
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I decided last minute to go into DC. I didn't know if I was going to be able to go for a lot of reasons because unfortunately my phone's out of commission again. But it is what it is. I'll get a new one soon enough. But I went down there with no phone basically. I decided last minute I'm going to take a bus, and I had to take a 3:00 in the morning bus from New York City.
Wow.
And so I had to find a way to get to New York City, and that was it was an interesting trip. Between hitchhiking and getting to the train station, which I actually made a video of my journey from the train station to New York City, which I will release fairly soon. It's about all the COVID signs that, $50 fines here if you're not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Not having the ability to sit in a waiting room that's nice and toasty while you're freezing with wind blowing in your face.
Oh, yeah.
And vending machines that you can spend, $7 or whatever it is on a mask. Because, people want to spend that kind of money when they don't have money to buy a train ticket anymore. So, yeah, I also filmed a little bit of Penn Station and how much of a ghost town. I mean, I felt like when I was walking to New York City, like it was the Omega Man. I don't know if you're familiar with the Charleston Heston movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, the updated version would be I Am Legend.
Yes, that's correct, Will Smith. But if you watch the original that came out with Charlton Heston, I feel like New York City.
You damn dirty Negroes! Really, I mean, apes.
It's a great movie, by the way. If nobody's ever watched that before,
right,
they should definitely check it out. There's a lot of interesting parallels in our society nowadays. But yeah, I went there. I had to wait for the bus at 3:00 in the morning. It's really funny. I didn't realize this until I got to DC. That I would say there must have been like maybe 6 or 7 people on the bus that were all heading to the rally. And they're all Trump supporters.
Oh.
And I think only one of them was white. Everyone was like Hispanic or black. They're all going to see Trump's rally.
We're going to support the president of the United States, and we're going to kick some white people's asses who happen to be Antifa. I want to go kick Antifa's ass. That's where they went.
Mira, ¿sabe qué? Very mixed, diverse group of people. I mean,
what happened? Este pendejo Antifa sigue jodiendo con la gente ahí. Nosotros vamos para pegar. Rompa la cara de Antifa. Like, oh shit. Somebody's tia is about to kick some little white boy's ass.
I'm telling you, man. Whatever they're saying on TV about, those colored people.
Collards.
They're not supporting Trump, they're supporting Biden. I don't know about that.
No.
I really don't believe that's true. And I think not only the records that we know from the record, the election, got a lot more, what they call minorities voted for Trump.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of truth to that. Because when I was on that bus, it was like, I think I only saw like 1 or 2 white people that were going to the rally, and the rest were like black or Hispanic. So, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I saw.
Yeah.
And they all, since they were all going to the rally anyway, they all went as a group.
Oh.
So we walked for. I joined them because at that point I was going there by myself because I was going to try to find some friendlies, people I know.
Yeah.
But I had no way to contact them any other way. So I figured just go in with a crowd. It's better if we go in a group than by yourself. Considering the potential dangers these days, it's not like the old days. Nowadays, they love to attack you, and we'll get into that later. But yeah, I got there at like 8:00 in the morning, and I got to tell you, there were already people out there at 8:00 in the morning. I saw groups of people walking with their flags, pro-Trump flags, and whole groups of people. There were a lot of people walking around the city.
Yeah, well, that's the difference between
for the rally.
That's the difference between Antifa and us, because we wake up in the morning to fight to have our revolution. We'll wake up early in the morning to work. They wait until late at night when there's hardly anybody around to do their dumb shit because they're too busy like jacking off to like fucking bestiality porn and basically watching their girlfriends and mothers getting plowed by somebody else. I mean, that's
I mean, or like me, who got up at 5:30 in the morning the day before. I didn't even sleep that point. I slept for maybe 2 hours on the bus.
Yeah, right.
I've gone there still up from the day before, hitchhiking to get to the train station at like 10:30 at night. Just so I can get to a 3:00 bus in the morning. Make it to DC, But yeah, I did all that. That was my crazy journey into getting into DC. I had to leave hours ahead of time just so I wouldn't miss the bus.
Just
Because, unfortunately, I don't have like a trust fund or, special sponsorship by the Soros Foundation to help me out, or, these Ford Foundation characters. But anyway, yeah, so we went to DC. I will tell you some funny thing I saw. I saw a box with some kind of sticks standing up and some Cheetos underneath it. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if that was like something the left laid out as like a symbolic gesture of capturing Trump. I don't know what that was about, but I took video and pictures of this thing, which I'll have to show you at some point. And, I did see some, typical leftist propaganda on the, like light poles and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was very peaceful in the morning. I ran into different Maga groups, different groups of people. I also ran into something called the New Federal State of China, I think it was called.
what?
These Chinese people. Yeah, these Chinese people wearing MAGA hats and blue.
Oh, wow.
They said they wanted to create a new Chinese state to replace the communist one.
Oh, wow.
And that they want Trump to be president for 4 more years. And they support it. I actually interviewed one of the people that were there, and which I'll have a video of that as well. I'll have that up fairly soon as well. I wish I had more time to talk with her. She kind of got cut off because she had to do stuff, and I was going to try to meet up with her later on so we could do more of the interview, but there was just so much stuff going on in D.C. I never ran into her again.
Mm-hmm.
But she was telling me about the terrible things in China, and we're having a really good discussion. I have a good chunk of that on video, so I'll be able to show people that when I get a chance to upload it on YouTube, which I'll do probably this week because I already finished editing the video. I just need to upload it to the internet. So yeah, there were a lot of pro-Chinese people down there who were they're all down with Trump. They hate the Communist Party in China.
We got Aaron S. We got Aaron S. in the chat room. He's like, proud of your boy, my brother. Epoch Time reporters from China were also in D.C. Says,
oh
Aaron.
yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were. Okay.
Oh, they definitely were. They were handing out cards and stuff to let people know about their publication.
Oh, okay.
So I saw that. Yeah, I saw a bunch of them.
Yeah, I mean, but they were recently attacked, weren't they? They tried to burn down their operation over there.
I heard. I hear sometimes, like when you watch a YouTube video, it'll go to like an ad, and I see that ad where they talk about that. I'm pretty sure that happened. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, anybody critical of the Chinese government, they terrorize you. It's no joke. The global New World Order model, from all the researchers I know, they all say China is the key to what the global government will be. And seeing how much influence and power they want to wield on the U.S.,
yeah,
I'd say it's pretty damn accurate. And that's probably why these expats from China were saying we don't want America to be like China.
Right.
We want to create a new Chinese nation that's free. Yeah, they said they're in total solidarity with the Hong Kong protesters against the Chinese government. And I'll tell you what, I will take any one of them. If they weren't fully legal citizens, I will gladly give them citizenship at the expense of Antifa's citizenship.
Sounds fair to me.
They could exchange theirs for theirs, and I will be fine with that. Because I got to tell you, these Chinese people I spoke to, they were very patriotic. They were exactly what America needs right now, and I fully respect them and support what they want to be doing. At least from the conversation I had, so that was a very positive exchange I had. And I walked around. Infowars was there. Talked to one of the Infowars guys briefly. I didn't see Jones myself, but he was out there.
Was my baby Savannah over there? I love Savannah.
I didn't see her. I saw some other guy.
Oh,
there. I think his name is Sean.
They need to get some more pretty chicks since they fired fucking Millie Weaver. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on, Infowars. Look. Okay, look. As someone that watches, you need to put on some eye candy. Yes, I love Owen. Owen is hilarious, but I need some eye candy sometimes. Like even on the Spanish news, you got some hot freaking chick freaking doing the weather. Come on, like help a brother out. That's what I need.
Well, even to Fox News' credit, they know this too. They do that sometimes.
Like honestly, I appreciate the female form, respectfully, of course, respectfully. But come on, hook a brother up.
You enjoy getting your information at something that is pleasant to look at.
Yes. God, like, is that so much to fucking ask for?
Probably not.
Like, honestly, and Savannah's a cutie patootie. I've had her on this podcast. You know, she's adorbs. She's adorables. That's she's a deplorable. She's an adorable deplorable. She's adorable.
There you go. That's a good way to say it. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. She could have been there, but I didn't see her. Yeah. I only saw the guy Sean, who I guess does archival work for InfoWars or something. I had an interesting conversation with him. He seemed like a decent guy.
Yeah. Shout outs to Sean.
But,
Shout outs to Sean.
Yeah, he has a Twitter handle. I'll have to. I can't remember what it's. I have it written down somewhere. Maybe if I get a chance, I'll look for it. But yeah, nice guy. Had an interesting conversation with him. And you know, I eventually ran into the Proud Boys. I found I found a bunch of Asians that were there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some woman from the Philippines was out there with a Trump hat.
Oh yeah, from what I hear, a lot of Filipinos support the God Emperor.
Yeah, this woman was like hardcore pro Trump from what I remember. She was with a bunch, a couple that was people who were from Houston, Texas, I think. A lot of different people from all around the country, every state, I'd say. You had different groups from everywhere, and they all came down to D.C. to show their support. They were pro and hardcore Trump and hardcore, just freedom loving people. And eventually I did run into the Proud Boys. I would say there had to be like close to 300 of them out there.
Yeah,
from all over the country as well. There are a lot of different Proud Boys.
That's a whole fucking platoon for when it comes to Proud Boys. 300 Proud Boys could probably take on at least 10,000 of those people.
Well, honestly, that could have very well happened, which is why we'll get into the other stuff later as to why it happened when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing when I was at the rally, you didn't see violence out in the rally. You didn't see nothing.
Right.
You saw cheering crowds of all groups of people. I saw Lady Maga in the crowd. I saw a lot of different people there. Man, the crowd was wild. There were people on top of U-Haul trucks, like flying their flags. People. The Proud Boys gave a march around the block to the rally. They all chanted "fuck Antifa." Everybody started chanting it, like the whole crowd. I mean, I can tell you, I remember 8 years ago, I couldn't get one person to even remember the name Antifa, and they had a whole parade of people screaming "fuck Antifa." Yeah,
apparently this just in from well, unless he wants me to tell who it was. Apparently, I'll let him tell me if he wants me to announce it. But some of the Proud Boys were pulling some security for AJ.
Oh yeah, definitely. Actually, I know that some American Guard guys were with him as well. And I think they're dual Proud Boys and AG guys that were down there with him, supporting him and showing security, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is some truth to that. AJ had some help. Like I said, the Proud Boys held the place down, made sure that it was safe.
Yeah.
At least during the rally. Like I said, everybody, and I got to tell you, for all the hate the Proud Boys get in the media and this lies about white supremacy, this and that, all these people at the rally were like cheering the Proud Boys like they were like full-fledged celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were like resistance fighters standing up for the good fight. They were treated like heroes.
And
a lot of Trump supporters,
and honestly,
black and white alike, and everybody in between.
Yeah, I mean, and more than likely that's probably not too far from the truth. We are.
No, it's definitely true.
We have become the standard bearers of freedom. I mean, if I could toot my own horn, I mean, it's because it's like we love our freedom. We love our freedom, and these people, the Joe Bidens, the Kamala Harrises, Antifas, the Black Blocs, the BLMs, they live in a certain reality. Actually, I wouldn't even call it fucking reality. This is some type of like mass hysterical mental disorder where they think that they are victims, and this is the thing that will always this is the thing that will always piss me off, because it's like, oh, how come you don't feel like a victim? It's like when I say I'm not a victim, I am the master of my own fate. I'm not going to let some supposed white supremacist. Your own
master. No one is a master over you.
Yeah, I mean, saying like what somebody screaming the N word or the S word for spick is not affecting my life. When I go on when I've gone on BitChute and I've been called a beaner and all that really does not affect me. It's not stopping me from making a living. It actually makes me laugh, because it's like, well, I can fuck your bitch.
Well, think of it this way. Think about how pissed off that person must be if they can't piss you off.
Yeah, no.
Think about that.
Well, no, it amazes me how pissed off other people get when I don't get pissed off by that. When I'm not fazed by that. I mean, hell,
so
yeah.
To show you.
Yeah.
You took the power away from them, and now they're angry.
Yeah, yeah. It's
and that's the worst thing you can do to anybody like that, because they think they have power over you when they're supposed to offend you.
Yeah,
you took it away from them.
Wait,
well, yeah, I have video of people cheering the Proud Boys. I got a video of that too. It wasn't just white people; they were black. I saw.
I'm sorry. Somebody just said I'm way too ugly to be streaming. I'm sorry. You cannot jerk off to me. I'm sorry. I have killed your boner. In fact, I'm not taking responsibility for your erectile dysfunction. That is just on you. You look like a victim. He says I look like a victim. I'm not a victim. Your mom was a victim because apparently she got raped by your dad, which makes you a rape baby. Shut up. Like whatever. You should be praying to God, thanking him that you were not aborted. You are lucky your mom didn't have the $600 to fucking erase the fucking toxicity of your father's semen freaking invading your mom's fucking toxic waste dump of a womb. You fucking extra chromosome fucking Yes, I'm drinking. Too. Yes, I am drinking Diet Pepsi. It is refreshing. He's just stating the obvious. He's like, Diet Pepsi. You're you have a TV in the background. You have that's you with your fucking refrigerator. Like, okay, are we gonna be
your wall is the color, whatever? Who gives a crap?
Yeah, well, whatever. It's like, honestly, what the
fuck? We'll deal with them later, but
yeah, monkey app waffen. Okay, whatever. Okay.
All I know there, Louis, is that I saw a lot of different groups of people not only cheering on and praising the Proud Boys like they're heroes, but I saw people asking if they could join.
Oh, yes.
Of all age groups. I mean, I'm talking like people like, late teens, early 20s to like 40s, because the Proud Boys really are handling business when it comes to defending Americans out in the streets. So I got to tell you that, for all this bad PR, the media will tell you, I don't know how much of a bad PR they have in front of like actual legitimate like supporters of freedom.
Yeah, I mean,
at least down on the street, all those people like Proud Boys, they were cheered by everybody. So,
Like, you know how many times I hear, oh man. Oh, there you go. That's the Diet Pepsi coming back up. That's for you, Appwaffen.
Appwaffen.
Appwaffen. Go to a gym. Like
App weapon.
yeah, no, I'm just gonna rape your mom and make you a little brother or sister. That'll be my exercise, okay? Appwaffen telling me to go to the gym. Your mom is free. Fuck them.
Appwaffen. They've been hanging out with Adam Waffen lately.
Yeah.
They're gonna join that group.
Yeah. More like the freaking chicken and waffen. Waffles. Fuck.
Waffen,
Like 10 minutes to waffen. 10 minutes to Judge Waffen. Like,
yeah, I'll give them a weapon.
yeah, whatever.
But yeah, man. They like I said, everybody was having. It was a blast. I wish I could have been there.
Yeah,
the Proud Boys went on a march, not once but twice. They went around the block once, pre-marched, and then went on the main march. And we're pretty much at the front of the line, from what I could tell. They're if they weren't at the front of the line, they're pretty damn close. And they made sure that nobody from the outside could hurt anybody. There was a couple of weirdo. I don't know if they were homeless people that hated Trump. But they were just there saying, fuck Trump, fuck Trump.
Oh, of course.
And trying to get in the way. Some guy on his scooter bike or whatever was trying to stand in the middle of the crowd, but he kind of just got walked through.
Yeah, okay.
And they all marched their way up the street for quite a bit of time. I mean, it was a long march. And, people all around were cheering. And
Monkey Appwaffen goes, "Hail milk."
I'm telling you, man, they're going with the SS reference. It's great. We can play that. I got a whole bookshelf of that.
He goes, rape like your brown bros do. Okay. Well, I mean, well, look, you still jerk off to porn where that happens. So, I don't know what that says more about you or me. I just, it's like, oh my God, my sister's getting banged by a brown guy. Oh goodness. Like, go ahead, jack off to that thought. Ugh.
I wonder if they were good enough to join Combat 18, or if they couldn't make it.
Probably not.
I wonder if they join those boys.
Yeah.
There's always Adam Waffen, and they're always getting in the news lately. I know Spencer Douchebag is always obsessed with those people. But they might be too young for whoever this person is. I don't know if they're just a kid.
Oh, yeah. So, honestly, this just in, Cobb from Central New York Proud Boys, they were the ones that were providing security for AJ at the rally. I mean, at the Maga March. So, there you go, Cobb.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. Like I said, there were a lot of chapters down there. And yeah, there were a lot of different groups. These guys were well prepared.
Yeah.
They, a bunch of them had body armor. They, protective gear. They were ready to go if anything went down. And that's why all these far leftists stayed on the outskirts. I heard at one point there was an attempt to invade the gathering, but they all got shoved out of there.
Oh, yeah.
When they tried to do it. That's what I was told by one of the people that I think they were either an eyewitness or they've been around people who've seen it. That was the only incident I heard. But like I said, they all marched up the street. They all had a good gathering. At the end of the march, there was a giant Trump flag, and a bunch of us got to sign our names on it. So, which was great. So my John Hancock's on this giant flag somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
And this thing was one of those big flags. So
speaking about giant flags,
it's big enough to you can sign it with a ton of people.
Speaking of flags, I wonder how long it's gonna be until we have like a new AIDS quilt, like based on like the coronavirus. Everyone's gonna gather in freaking Washington and just like make a whole giant fucking AIDS quilt. Like we're going to battle Corona by knitting. Like you fucking fairy, cut the shit. I'm like, come on, just open this shit up.
Going on.
I am just sick and tired of this. It's like, whoa, shit, we got to do a lot. Like in California, my god sister already told me that they're already doing lockdown part 2 over there.
Well, we can get into that in a little bit too, because there is some dark storms ahead of us. But I will tell you, as far as this rally goes, if this group of people that I saw out there, they tried to make it sound like there's only a couple hundred people, like a few thousand.
Right.
That's nonsense. There is as many people as the eye could see. There's pictures of this. There's video. I have video of this myself. There were crowds of people. I could barely walk through the crowds at a certain point.
Yeah.
There's so many people. So I don't know what they're talking about.
They were like, there was only 5,000.
They're too stupid to know what they're talking about. They're lying.
Yeah, because on Sunday after it, I listened to 1010 Wins, the 24-hour AM news station here every morning, and they're like, only 5,000 people showed up to the Million Maga March. Like, really?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck? What you mean? They stopped counting at 5,000? That's what you mean to say.
I'm going to tell you this: if these guys ever enter payroll to like add up my paycheck, at the end of the day, I might have to question it. They shouldn't be counting people's paychecks, let alone crowds of people out on the street.
Yeah,
I don't need to, I don't need that job to know that there was enough people out there to. Let's just say if there was a brawl and every one of those people were, standby for a fight, we won. We won the fight.
Yeah.
But and I know that the far left knows this because they waited all day before they decided to come out and start some trouble. Because eventually the rally did end, but there were a lot of people still in the city. There are people going to get dinner and just kind of walking around, just not really. You know what it is? There's a lot of people who support Trump, but they're not keen on how violent the far left is.
Right.
Because a lot of these are just like, regular people who go to their 9-to-5 job, and they're not brawlers or crazy people. They're just regular mom and pop, kind of like,
Well, I mean,
just doing their family thing.
One of the famous, I don't want to say famous, but one of the I guess viral videos that came out was this white couple was trying to leave, and they were denied passage by the police. They're like, look, they're after us. And the cop was like, too bad. And they had to turn around. And of course, Black Lives Matter dummies or Black Lives Murder cronies surrounded them and started, hitting them and doing shit. And then this older man came to defend them because, apparently the cops weren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
So he starts pushing them back, and whenever he went toe to toe, they backed up, and he was able to keep them back. It was when he would turn his back, someone would kick him from behind and run away, and then as he's trying to walk away, they sucker punched him and they stomped him out. And I'm like,
right.
wow, you guys are really brave. I mean, because if it really came down, and that's proof, if it really came down to an actual shooting war, they would be wiped out within a day. They will be totally wiped out because what? They can't do no sneak attacks. It's gonna be no.
Not when it's all out war. No. There's not gonna be such thing as a sneak attack because everyone's expecting something. That's why they do sucker punch stuff right now. That's why it's relevant that we explain what Antifa is to as many people as they can, as we can, because you do that and we take away their surprise attacks, sucker punching, and whatever else. And everyone expects them to do this. They're not going to have the ability to do what they do. They only got away with it for as long as they did because nobody knew who they were. Now, I will tell you this: as me and a group of Proud Boys and some AG folk were leaving the rally to rendezvous with others. That was around the time, I must have been like maybe 4:35 in the afternoon, time was starting to get towards evening dinner time.
Yeah.
That's when we heard reports from other people on the ground that there were some hunting squads out and about looking for MAGA people,
Right.
like Antifa and BLM types, and just anybody who was down for a fight. And we heard there was like 100 of them out looking for people. And we tried, a group of people I was with the, PB guys, we tried warning the public around us. You might want to be careful, don't, with your gear, just because there's a hunting squad looking for people. Obviously we would have defended the people if we'd run into them. We never particularly ran into these Antifa people or BLM people. Unfortunately, that's not the same story for others.
Right.
I heard there was multiple reports of sightings and encounters, which I'm sure some of the digging you did and some of the video watching you did, you saw some of this violent action.
Oh yeah, I mean, but of course they go after elderly people. They go after people with children. And honestly, why are you bringing your hold on. Oh wow! All right, that's for you. That was for you, Monkey Waffen. You're breaking YouTube live stream records. Okay, so
good.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if one person watches or 1,000 people watch.
Well, I kind of care.
It's all documented. I know you do, but you get my point.
The point
slow
is,
down. We're doing the right thing.
Let me be like.
I think you get my point.
Let me be like Steven Crowder. Tweet out hail hashtag hail milk and a link to this live stream to get people to listen. Hail hashtag hail milk. Just, fuck it, I'm taking it. Get your hail milk shirts. Hail milk shirts at LouisBstore.com. Still
$14.88.
Yeah, yes. Oh, somebody says still 1,000 times more entertaining than Jovi Val. Yes, thank you.
Wow,
you.
I actually think he was down there at the rally, but I never ran into him. I know Antifa was reporting on him being there.
Oh God! Well, I know he wouldn't dare show his face around us because no one wants to see him. Like everyone was like, "Fuck Joe VV, fuck Joe VV."
I never saw him down there. I know Antifa kind of reported on him being there, but I never saw him. I'm sure he was there.
Yeah.
I never ran into him though. I'll leave it at that much with that. But I will also say this in regards to the other point I was making earlier. Antifa waited for most of the Proud Boys to disperse and go in separate ways or just outright leave the rally before they went and got crazy. And then they just randomly targeted anybody they could, from elderly to families with kids.
Yeah, of course.
Whoever they could find on the street, expressing violent actions. In reality, proving further that Biden potentially being president here, because that's what they're projecting.
Right.
That it was never about Trump. Or Biden. It was just about them being violent.
Yeah.
That's all they want. They don't care who's president. They're going to be violent anyway.
Well, this just in.
They want.
This just in from Era 718. Jovi Val was there, and the American First crowd chased him off, calling him a Fed.
Really?
Yeah, I guess so. That's just in.
I can't prove he's a Fed, but I don't know. I can't prove any of that. If somebody could dig up documentation on that, then whatever.
Yeah, no. All I know he last year he got his ass kicked by a woman when I served him papers for stalking a woman. He was wearing a fucking swastika, and some chick smacked the shit out of him, and then he got his ass kicked while he was looking at me expecting me to help his ass, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna help you. I just let him get his ass kicked. Like, fuck. No, fuck you, bro.
Boy, it's so crazy.
Proud of you, boy.
Just happened.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I just, enduring all the people I've run into over the years, and directions that people go, and I don't know. I make my suggestions. I can only do so much.
Yeah, I mean, I just know him
People
because
choose their paths.
I just remember him because, he used to try to do comedy, do stand-up, and he just fucking sucked. I'm like, oh God, dude. Like, his style was, let me just say offensive shit and think it's funny. Like, you don't even put it in no type of joke form or anything. You're just like, he would just say the N-word just to say the N-word. I'm like, come on, dude. Like, no fucking, no, like, at least have some fucking, a creativity to your fucking style. No, nothing. He just wore his, like, his
stuff.
His little, like, fucking vintage fucking suits that he bought from the Salvation Army. Like, his secondhand suits. Like, oh, I'm so fucking, like, dude. Well, anyways. That's my bitching. Anyways, back to what you were saying.
I understand.
Yeah.
I got no ill towards the guy. Just, I don't know.
I do.
I understand you do. I guess I'm playing neutral until he does something to me personally, but he hasn't quite done that yet. But I understand people got grievances. I'll put it to you this way. I told him a long time ago.
Yeah.
I tell everybody. I told this to Luke Radowski too.
Yep.
That if whatever mistakes you make in the past, make sure you correct them in the future by not continuing those mistakes.
Right.
If there's legitimate grievances to be had, because if you don't do that, it's going to bite you in the ass eventually.
Yeah.
And I tell that to everybody who has controversy, because I generally want everybody to do good in life, because I'm a well-meaning person. Now, they can take my advice and do what they want with it. If they don't want to take my advice and they want to continue down the wrong path, that's on them. That's beyond my control, but I at least try to give people an opportunity, and that's what I leave for them. You know what I'm saying, Louis?
Yeah, I understand. I get you.
That's what I'm saying.
I understand. I hears everything you're trying to lay down.
Yep. So it's what it is. But anyway, so these people obviously waited. I haven't watched all the videos yet.
Right.
The violent action, I started watching a little bit. I saw in some of these videos they were throwing fireworks into, like, restaurants. And
oh, yeah.
Could have really hurt people. I mean, I don't know what kind of fireworks they were throwing in there, but I knew a kid who held an M80 to his hand, and let's just say he's missing 3 out of his 5 fingers.
Nice.
Because they'll blow your fingers off. So could you imagine what that could do to somebody if you throw an M80 by them, or some of these mortars? I mean, you could not only make them deaf, permanently hearing loss, but you could seriously blow off body parts. These are explosives. I don't know what kind of grade explosive, but explosives nonetheless that could do serious harm on your body. And these stuff was being thrown at people.
Yeah.
While they're eating dinner. I mean, this is completely crazy.
No,
this is the type of stuff I would expect from these people.
Yeah, it's fucking uncalled for. It's like this is the thing that I can't, as a man, I can't justify that. How can you just justify attacking people who are not a threat to you? I understand attacking someone that you've had a problem with, and you see them on the street, and it's like, hey, motherfucker, it's time to square up. That I understand. How you
square up beef with each other. That's what if people got beef, they square up. But that's personal beef with each other. But these people have no beef with these people other than the fact that they don't agree with their politics. That's all it is. But you notice how they'll go after all these people eating dinner and these regular MAGA type people who aren't brawling, and they're just like you typical like family people who they're not violent people or rough and tough. They target all these people who they view as weak.
Yeah.
And they waited long enough for the Proud Boys to disappear. Other groups would have mopped the floor with them out to leave.
Which means
because I know people were itching to go back and go after these people.
Like, which means what has to happen, which is going into the Proud Book, or also known as 40 Ways to Defeat Antifa, that I'm writing. Thank you to Mark Bray. Thank you, Mark Bray, Spencer Sunshine, and
we'll just call him SS.
Yeah, Spencer Sunshine SS. I'd like to thank the SS. Sup.
The Schultz-Staffel. Nazi bastard.
Freaking Jewish Nazi bastard. Fucking hate that dude. Not because he's Jewish, because he's a fucking schmuck. And I used a Yiddish word. He's a schmuck. No, it's like, so what needs to happen now is that groups like the Proud Boys and other patriot groups, we have to be the first ones on the field and the last ones off until like all the I would say vulnerable groups like families, elderly, and especially women are off the board. And we watch these motherfuckers until they leave. That's what needs to happen. We can't be the first ones to leave, because then when we break off, that's when they start swarming. Because that's the only thing. That's the only real tactic they have, is to swarm. Because they can't take us one-on-one.
No,
because honestly, because
I agree.
Yeah, because I mean. Me being from New York,
we've seen it time and time again. They can't even handle one of the Proud Boys. No,
because especially that old guy that they sucker punched. They couldn't take him. They had to go sucker punch him.
Not to go attack him.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly.
So I mean, but the thing is, we come from. I mean, if I could speak for a lot of the Proud Boys, we are berserkers. Like, I'm a berserker.
Switch on. It's gotta be turned off or it doesn't stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you get pissed off. You're slow to anger. It's like okay, and now you're doing 4 years in jail. I mean,
I hate to laugh about that, but it's actually true.
It is true. I mean, it's
sadly true, and regretfully so.
Yeah.
Shout out to our boy Maxwell Hare and John Kinsey.
Yeah.
Because, we always got to keep their names alive so people don't forget who they are or where they are. That's what they did as patriots to defend this country and the people. I know it sounds silly. What they do to defend the country? They got no brawl. Well, they actually exposed that the courts are going to put patriots in the prison.
Yeah.
And when they were the first to really have that happen to them. Other than, not as far as James Field, I know he hit the people with the charger, but his charges were excessive. I don't agree with the guy's politics from what I do know, but that was the infancy stage. Max and John Kinsman was the beta test, and COVID was pretty much the all-out proof that they can get away with this stuff.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, they needed to be able to set the precedent with Max and John because they weren't Nazis. They could argue that, James Field is an unpopular guy because of his politics. But his politics weren't the same as John and Max. Max, we know those guys. They weren't anywhere near that.
Yeah, no, I write to
thrown in prison.
Yeah,
anybody can.
Yeah, I mean, I write to John all the time. In fact, guys, if you know Max, if you know John, get their addresses in prison and write to them. That is their rocket fuel. That is your rocket fuel. That's the thing. We need to start coming together as a community. We should have been coming together as a community, whether you're Proud Boy, whether you're American Front or Patriot Front or or Ameriwaffen or whatever. I don't know.
Whatever, Waffen.
Whatever Waffen. I don't know.
Although I think that Patriot Front, I think they're white nationalists.
Are they?
I don't think it was sport though. Yeah, I think that I think there's definitely a lot of them in there. But
I don't know.
I think they're an offshoot of American Vanguard, which is not the same thing as American Guard.
Yeah, American
They're totally
Guard.
separate things. So, I can clarify that much.
Yeah, I mean,
But
look, Patriot groups.
Anybody, all the civic, pro-American, kind of nationalist type groups definitely show their support for Max and John because they want to fight against these Antifa people who have made terroristic threats against everybody in the city of New York and continue to make terroristic threats towards many people to this day.
Okay. First of all, I don't know if this is a diss or not, but as someone that likes fat girl thighs, Trump's a cowboy on a steel horse he rides. He's wanted like fat girls' thighs. I don't know what song that's from, but okay. We got Ezra 718. He goes, Patriots blocking restaurant goers say that they can eat in peace would be nice, good optics. Yes, I agree. That was Lola J. Apparently he liked the fact that Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive. Okay, I guess is that the song? Oh, Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses, Dead or Alive. Okay. That's Trump. Yeah. Okay. So he was making a reference to that song,
Right.
Yes, but I like fat girl thigh. I do like fat girl thighs. Where the fuck is my float? I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna be shamed for being a female chubby chaser. I refuse. Like, if you could,
you like a little meat on them fucking legs, basically. Is what you're saying.
Yes, I mean, if there are certain men that like a woman with a dick, I like a woman with a nice, some extra flesh on they bones, more grabbing, more cushion for the pushing. Yes,
there you go.
That I will not be shamed. You cannot shame me for that ever, ever.
Well, it happens. I hear you, man.
And honestly, I'll go as far as saying, if you do not appreciate a robust woman, I believe that you are of the gay persuasion, and that's okay by me too. And I just support who you like to bang. Just don't ask me to be in the room while you do such nasty things. There you go. Amen.
I hear you. That makes sense. That works for you.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
Yep.
And yeah, he's he, like I was saying earlier with these psychopaths,
Yep.
The thing is, they waited for all the patriot brawling groups. And when I do mention brawling groups, I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean guys are willing to take a stand at the front line when tyranny comes across to harm. Basically, Batman is a brawler in ways. He fights crime.
Yep.
So they waited for our, the Patriot self-defense squad to disperse and go their own separate ways before they even got violent.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. They got violent. There's tons of video of it coming out now, so to speak. And, I did hear that there was some videos where Proud Boys did fight back to protect people. From what I could tell. And of course the media is going to try to play it off as, the Proud Boys are terrible. They attack people. It's like, no, they're freaking fireworks being thrown at people and sucker punching this and that. And, the media is going to lie about them. But at the end of the day, everybody at the rally knows who protected them and who stood for them. And it sure wasn't the cops, unfortunately, and it sure wasn't the media, and it sure wasn't the left. It was the Proud Boys.
Yeah.
It's not that's American Guard and other groups.
Oh, this is nice. Lola J, who's a chick, by the way. Hopefully she wants to get some of this. She goes, "You're too cool to troll. Rock on, dude. I'll smash the like on my way out. I'm a girl." Oh, nice.
There you go.
I'm single. So all right. Come get
Well, like I said,
come get this.
these jerks. You know what it is? I concluded this a long time ago. I might even already made this point. But Antifa and the far left and the established corporate media and all these they're afraid of the Proud Boys for a lot of reasons. Because the Proud Boys will defend people. They need to get rid of the Proud Boys. This is why they're desperate to get rid of you all. Because they know the minute you guys are gone, who's going to defend people?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Well,
We know the cops aren't.
Yeah, no, but I think there will always be someone like the Proud Boys. There'll always be a group like the Proud Boys because there are always going to be a group of men who are going to be fed up. They're going to be a group of men like us that are going to be pissed off, that remember what America was like prior to 2001 with all the freedom, and that this is not natural. This is not how America is supposed to be. And, you know, it will always be a calling in our gut, in our heart, in our blood that we want freedom.
You are right about that, but a lot of those groups are not out in the open. They exist in the shadows. Like, you have militia groups who are obviously equipped to handle, you know, armies of people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these guys are they're former military, former police. They are trained, they are armed. You don't see them out on the streets normally. They're where they are. The point is, the Proud Boys, however, they're out on the streets, they're out on the surface. They can be, you know, they can respond to instances of, you know, oppressive behavior on a moment's notice, whereas these other groups, they're not out on the street. They can't do that.
No.
And they're going to remain in the shadows as long as it's necessary until an actual war kicks off of some kind, assuming we have a real live civil war where, you know, guns are blazing. We're not quite there yet. We're having a type of civil war. But the thing is, the establishment views the Proud Boys as a major threat because they are a nuisance to the establishment because they are protecting people.
Mm-hmm.
And they are standing up for Western values, as they say.
Yeah.
The way that the establishment wants to destroy Western values. So as long as the Proud Boys continue to do this is a big problem and an obstacle that they have to eliminate. That's why they really need to demonize them. So that's how I know what the Proud Boys are doing is not only the right thing, but it's necessary at this time because they are on the front lines of taking care of things for the time being.
Right.
And obviously you are correct. There's other people out there who are going to take up that mantle of doing that. But for what it's worth, the Proud Boys have a brand name, and they're known for that. People know who they are on a much larger scale than many of the other groups or many of the other individuals. So for what it's worth, we got something to work with here. And if you just look at what the enemy says, it's clear that they are threatened by the fact people are standing up against these bullies. You know, so that's why they're scared. And that's why they get the Proud Boys got to organize, continue doing what they're doing. Because they do have the establishment in a state of fear. Because bullies don't like people that stand up against them. And that's what they're doing. That's why they waited for the Proud Boys to disperse, so there wasn't enough of them out there to really protect people.
Yeah.
And that's proof of that.
Yeah. So,
I believe that's proof of that.
So I'm hoping, because I was thinking about this. So the next tactic that we should adopt is basically being the last ones off the battlefield. The first one's on and the last one's off, because if they're going to continue to do this, like because
they will.
Yeah,
we
because
know they're going to target people.
Because the cops are just going to allow it to happen.
And we know that too. We know that any cop in the blue area, Democrat-run city, is going to be told to stand down. Even if the cop nods off to you and says they support you, it's beyond their control because they're bureaucrats at the end of the day. They might support you, but they're higher ups don't. And their higher ups are going to make sure that their fellow police officers don't do their job to stand up to the Constitution. So we understand that. But yes, maybe the Proud Boys should take that role. But in order to take that role, it's definitely going to require a lot more PR on their end in terms of exposing who they are to the public in a positive way. So that the public is more familiarized that the Proud Boys are not adversaries, but they're allies to them.
Right.
Which is the most important. You want to win the hearts and minds of the public, because that's who, in reality, the Proud Boys are really trying to help. They're trying to help the public make America great again.
Yeah.
By standing up. I know, Proud Boys can be a little rough around the edges at times because, they like to go drinking and do their things, but
they like to do
they're family members, and, people have, families involved with that, and they care about their families. They care about having a good country and a good future.
Yeah. I mean, and that's another side issue that I kind of want to quickly talk about. I am really sick and tired of the demonization of masculinity, of male behavior. Just because we like to do dumb shit, or what you consider to be dumb shit, not you, Gabriel, the other side likes to consider male behavior some type of disorder, some type of degeneracy. No, look at yourself in the mirror. You're the degeneracy, because what you guys are proposing is not working. What you guys are coming up with are not working. The over 80,000 types of sexualities and genders that you guys need to come up with, so that way you guys could feel like a fucking victim. Like, I'm sorry, me being a minority fucking comes easy to me. And guess what? I don't feel like I'm a victim. I don't feel like I'm a target. But no, you need to come up with all these like new fucking sexualities, these new fucking genders, these new fucking classifications, so that way you could feel what you imagine a minority should feel. And if to look at it in one way, it's actually kind of offensive, because you're expecting me to be scared of my own shadow and not be the master of my own fate.
Well, that's just it. They think that they have an imaginary view of what they think you're supposed to be doing, which is really tells me more than anything. They didn't really interact with people like you. To know that's just not the case.
Right.
I don't know. I've been around a lot of Latino, Hispanic type people for most of my life, and let me tell you, they're not victims there.
Yeah.
They're very assertive in who they are, from my personal experience, and I mean that in a positive way.
And I'm not going to apologize.
Very much know who they are. Yeah. They don't need anybody to defend them.
And I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't need no one to defend me. I'm not going to apologize for being straight. The same way I don't apologize for drinking Diet Pepsi. Feel free and sponsor me, Pepsi. I love your product. Like the same way I'm not going to apologize for my lust of fat women. Like the same way I'm not going to apologize for being who I am and making inappropriate jokes. I'm not, or what you consider inappropriate, because they're not inappropriate to me. They're just freaking challenging your fucking, your freaking sensibilities, because you want to feel offended, because you want to be a victim. That's the thing. You wanting to be a victim is weakness. Get the fuck over yourself.
And Louie, what else won't you apologize for?
These nuts. Gotti.
Creating a modern world.
I will not apologize for creating the modern world. Amen.
You are a part of that,
yeah,
because you are part of the modern world, and this is your home, and you're part of the American family. So therefore, you're part of creating the modern world,
right?
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want, and when we talk about the modern world, we're talking about a world of a future prosperity where you get to assert yourself as a self-declared leader of what you do, and I mean in a positive way. You're not a slave. The past is all about slavery and owning people. The future is about self-ownership and prosperity and creating better things in life. And these people seem like they want to revert and regress back to a terrible time in human history rather than go towards a positive time in human history. I mean, I don't know. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, like I said, these people, they're threatened by what Proud Boys are doing. They're threatened by the Maga community, which is very diverse, I might add.
Yeah, very much more diverse than the other side. It's hilarious.
Yes.
Like we're white supremacists. Yet we're freaking browner and darker than the other side. They're the ones that look like a bunch of milk toast. Fucking they look so white they get burnt in fucking moonlight. Like that's how
there you go.
they look like they look like they're transparent. That's how white they are, and yet they want to be victims because hey, there's nothing special about them.
Well, I guess they're like ghosts, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew another group of people like ghosts. They wore these white sheets, just like these pointy hoods. They look like ghosts too. There's so much in common that they share with each other. It's quite remarkable, quite frankly.
Yeah.
All I can do is laugh.
They want to.
It's so true. Oh man, but yes, unfortunately, some of the dark things that did happen at this rally that I was at was you had a bunch of psychos come out at dark.
Yeah.
The ghouls and goblins came out at dark to terrify people with physical violence. Which was, I expected that, actually. Unfortunately, a lot of people who are not familiar with this did not expect that, and I guess they got a first-hand account on how it can be. And in a way, hopefully this gives them, because of this first-hand account, maybe they'll be more wise next time about what kind of enemy we're dealing with, and maybe they'll have a greater appreciation for when the Proud Boys are around, if they did get to witness the Proud Boys protecting people.
Yeah.
That's how I get a positive out of an extremely negative situation. But it goes to show you that there is still a vast threat out there. It's not just Biden. Biden's a type of threat because he's potentially going to be president because the establishment stole a lot in this election. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, we should get into that topic as well.
Yeah.
I mean, on a more national level, I mean, we're finding out statewide in certain states that Trump actually got more votes than we thought in certain counties. They're actually finding his totals are going up.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. They need to do a recount in certain places, and they need to, nullify some of this other stuff because there's just too many anomalies coming out now.
Yeah, apparently the Supreme Court doesn't want to take the case. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I've been hearing some of that. Well, I'm going to tell you. You know what? If they're not willing to take this case, but we get enough data, documentation that shows the voting system is completely flawed in many ways. That should tell the American public that maybe our elections and the way they're being handled are not free. But you and me have known this for a very long time. I mean, I said it last time. I'll say it again. Hacking Democracy, the documentary that HBO broadcast back in 2005 or 2006.
Right.
With Bev Harris. I think her name was Bev Harris. She went on a crusade to show that these voting boxes could be tampered with, these electronic voting boxes. You can actually alter the programming and have it read a different candidate. Even though you cast one vote for one candidate, it would go to the other one. So the thing, we've always known under Diebold that they could do that. Now they got something called Dominion, and this is I guess this is either a separate company or maybe they changed their name. I don't know. I would have to do some more research on that. But the point is, they found evidence that those voting boxes had massive glitches. In one location, they had 4,000. I think it was either 4,000 or 6,000 votes that were meant for Trump that went to Biden. In a state that had 47 counties. So imagine that. Let's just say that theoretically, 47 counties had 6,000 votes that were really meant for Donald Trump, but went to Biden. If you add that up on a calculator, that I think it comes out to like 288,000 votes. Let's just say that they're all like that. We'll multiply it by the 47. If you multiply that by 47, I'm telling you, it should be like 288,000 votes. So, I mean, they're finding out one state 800 votes in one county should have, went to Trump, but for whatever reason they had a miscount. That's not a few hundred votes. That's like 800 votes. And what happens if you check every county and it's 800 times like 47? That's still a significant amount of votes.
Yeah.
So they are finding out that there's a lot of problems. I mean, the Democrats have look what happened over by Detroit. They're like threatening Republicans who were supposed to certify the counts. They're telling them if they don't do it, they're racist.
Oh, yeah.
And they're threatening their children. I mean, this is not. If the Democrats are trying to, right now, basically the media and the Democrats are saying, concede, we won. There's no problem with the election. If they're not stealing the election through fraud, certainly they're not allowing us to look at these glitches either.
Right.
And
well,
they're not being
these
transparent.
This is a point that was made. These are the same fucking people that for 4 years were screaming, Russia fucking hacked our election. Russia hacked our fucking election. Yet they did nothing to actually try to fix a problem or even try to find a problem until they got their guy in. That's the thing.
Putin must have been hung over the day of the election this time because he didn't help Trump, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't understand why Trump's master didn't come through for him.
No.
He steals elections.
Yeah.
And this is the other. Tim Pool pointed it out the other day that Democrats actually said, I think it was over a year or two ago, that they were concerned about Dominion voting systems having glitches.
Mm-hmm.
There's a video he did, I think, a couple days ago on this. So Democrats knew all along that these voting boxes were going to have potential glitches, but now they're acting like they never said that.
Well, the thing is, if you look at Dominion's logo, it's a red going in and a blue coming out. And someone made a meme that says when a company tells you exactly what they do.
Your vote goes in red and it goes out blue.
Yeah.
That's the most coincidental thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah,
and I've seen some really bizarre coincidental things, but that's pretty hilarious.
It is. It is. And
the irony alone is just remarkable. Yeah.
We got a DJT in the Spreaker chat room. He goes, "I won the end. I won the end." That's Donald J. Trump, who likes to listen to the show via Spreaker, even though we are streaming live on YouTube. We're also streaming live on D-Live, Twitch, and Periscope. You guys can watch there as well. So Twitch, D-Live, YouTube, and Periscope, as well as the audio version on Spreaker.com. Follow me on Parler at Louis B. Everyone's going on Parler. Everyone is. What you think of that? People are abandoning Facebook and Twitter because of all this fucking censorship.
I must say, I'm hearing people locally that I know for quite some time telling me that they're starting to use Parler.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're Trump supporters, but they're not like on the level. I would argue they're not on the level you and I are. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily about Trump, but like activism, just being aware of like actively going out on the street and doing things. These are not people who do that. These are regular people. They just go to their job. They like Trump. They don't like what's going on with the far left.
Right.
But they're joining Parler.
Yes.
And these are regular. I guess you call them normies.
Normies,
for a lack of better term, but they are going on there, and I got to tell you that I think because the censorship on Facebook is getting so bad.
Yeah.
Actually, at the rally, one of the speakers, I guess the organizer, said that Facebook banned one of their pages I think it was a Women for America First, that they kept their account information or something and wouldn't release their data. So, I mean, seems like everybody's getting. I don't know who's going to be on Facebook soon enough if everyone's getting banned. I mean, what do you got to do to stay on there? You got to be Mark Zuckerberg. I mean, you have to be him. The only person.
You can't talk about no type of politics. You can't have no type of real opinion. You just got to be like, oh my goodness, let's share cat videos and shit, and oh my god, here's some pussy weaving. Pussy weaving, underwater pussy crate weaving, or whatever the fuck.
I mean, honestly, what are these pages gonna like? What is their stocks at this point? I mean, they got to be plummeting if they're just kicking everyone off.
Yeah,
and just acting like, well, we don't care about the customer base. Screw those people. We're Facebook. We're established. We have a name. You have a name. Everyone's. I mean, it's like they want to take they want to go the way of MySpace. I mean, I don't know if you've actually been on MySpace recently just to look at what the website looks like, but it is a mess.
I haven't been on MySpace in years.
It's exactly. When was the last time you were there? You probably didn't remember. But I'm telling you, like I went to go look at MySpace page recently, like a couple months ago, and it is just a jumble. It looks like they just let the page die to the point where everything is so jumbled you can't use it. It's not usable.
Well,
it's a dead website.
I mean, that's what happens with sites like that. Oh wait, okay, we got hey, any word of the interview with Jason Whitney? Oh, okay. That was supposed to either happen today or tomorrow. Jason Whitney is Mercedes Carrera's husband, who's also in jail. Who's supposed to be calling me, and that's going to be recorded. That's not going to be a live show. So hopefully tomorrow I'm able to touch base with him, and we'll get that going. So that's what you get, Stuttering Chris. That is the update.
Jeez, they're both from jail. I don't even. I'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah.
That sounds like an interesting story. I'll talk to you off.
Right. So no, because I've been interviewing Mercedes Carrera, who's a porn star. Yes. So she's been coming on, and she's very well educated on the news. She likes talking about what China is doing, and stuff like that. I had to hide some of her posts because she has some other legal stuff happening. Apparently her rights are being violated. So yeah, definitely. Oh, we also got a message from Donald J. Trump again. He's like, my Russian wife has shares in Spreaker. Shh. Oh, sorry, Mr. President. Sorry. Didn't mean to.
Well, like I was saying earlier, it looks like there's enough reason for people to not throw in the towel with the election. Whether Joe Biden is the next president of the United States or not, which we won't know until really January 20th of next year.
Right.
All the stuff going on now is exposing that our elections are in serious jeopardy for a lot of reasons, and that people need to investigate all of these different things so that we can make sure that, if not this election, future elections are not corrupted on this level. And this really is going to be a wake-up call for a lot of people that didn't want to believe it for so long that this could happen. And I will say, now people are starting to question Fox News and what they've been doing. Because when you and me have been exposing Fox News for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
When the neocons were really at the height of their power. And we were called crazy. We were called leftist by, fairly mainline people who thought they were conservatives or were conservatives. They just didn't know. I mean, most people didn't even know that Fox News donated to Hillary Clinton's campaign when she was running for president. I believe it was either 2012 or even during the 2016 election. So I knew this then. We knew this. People then. Now they're willing to listen. Now we can expose that.
Right.
You know, we do. I do appreciate the work. You know, Tucker. You know, Carl Tuckerson does. Or did I just have this moment? Tucker Carlson. Yes, that's his name. I lost his name. Yeah, but you get my point. I appreciate the work he does.
Mm-hmm.
But really,
Carlson.
Fox News, they got him and Lou Dobbs.
Yep.
You know, but if those two were to go, I don't know if Hannity could hold down Fox News without those two.
No, I don't think he can. I mean, because
I don't think he would be able to.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say it, I mean, he lives a couple miles away from the house here.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
Well, he still has his radio show.
Kind of listen to people like me.
Yeah, he still has
program.
he still has his radio show though, so he'll be all right.
Well, he'll be all right, but you know, just Fox won't be. That's what I'm getting at. Is Fox won't be all right.
Well, they lost.
That's what I'm getting at.
They lost certain Marvel property. They sold off Marvel to Disney, so it's all good. They could go. They're done. They're done.
Well, the problem is they think that they can play nice with the establishment just to protect their own ass. In reality, they're like, oh, well, we don't want to look weird. We want to still maintain that we're mainstream enough so that we keep our audience. But if a lot of the audience is pro-Trump and don't like where the direction of everything's going, and Fox News is acting like, well, it doesn't affect us. We're okay. We don't care if we lose Trump. You know what it is, too? I think Fox News, I think they think they're going to make money attacking the Biden administration the way that CNN made money attacking the Trump administration. They're probably like, oh, we can make our ratings go up. We let Trump go to the wayside because there's going to be all this disgruntled Republicans and conservatives that are just going to just flock to us because we're the resistance against the tyranny of the left. I think maybe that's also where they were thinking. But I think it kind of backfired on them because obviously people don't really care for Fox if Fox is going to throw Trump under the bus. So I think they miscalculated if that was their thinking. And it's really going to hurt them in the end. Because I hear now people are moving to Newsmax? I think everyone's moving over there now. I hear they've been getting a big uptick in their their ratings now with subscribers and stuff.
No, that's good.
So,
I mean, look,
I guess that is good.
Yeah, I mean, look, you start pissing off people. I mean, you can't really stop the free market because people are going to move. People are just going to move to whoever gives them what they want. And when you have the news that's completely biased, like if it just like insults their intelligence all the time, you're just gonna you're gonna move on. I mean, it used to be Russia Today was the go-to news source.
They really were for a long time.
Yeah,
I don't know what they are nowadays, but they definitely were for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
They did give a platform to a lot of people. I mean, people we knew too.
Mm-hmm.
And they actually were willing to cover Bilderberg and go there. I give them respect for that. Props.
Yeah, and
But,
one of
right.
Luke Rakowski's ex-girlfriends used to work there, and she quit live on the air. And then a few years later, she freaking emails me on Facebook to ask me, "Oh, so what's this about Luke stealing money?" I'm like, "All right, let me tell you. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you the stories."
It comes out of the wash.
Pull up.
Everybody eventually comes asking their question. But that's a whole other subject.
Sit down, young lady. Let me tell you a little story about a Polish boy that you stole some money. Would you like to drink some sweet tea before I get into the story?
I mean, I can't prove all the other stuff that I know you've been definitely researching over the years.
Yeah.
I can't necessarily prove that. However,
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that in 2010 he stole that money from us because he when we had that financial meeting and we tried to have him go for the bucks. I guess he didn't want to give us copies, and he basically didn't want us to really examine anything. He's like, "Oh, I'm leaving. Well, I'm just paying it in the group, and we'll see you." He kind of saw. He said goodbye to us when I took the money, and he left us high and dry with nothing. But that's ancient history, and I could do a whole rundown on that history. I have the most documentation on it from every aspect of it. Well, maybe one day I'll actually put it together for people, but. I made a lot of predictions about things he did over the years, and it turned out to be true.
Yeah,
that's all the story. But anyway, but as far as alternative media stuff goes, I mean, I think unfortunately, Alex Jones has been pretty much banned from everything. But the funny thing is, I think he finally kicked that stigma that he had for so many years about the whole 9/11 stuff. By the conservatives, a lot of conservatives hate him for talking about the 9/11 stuff.
Yeah.
They love him now because for whatever reason, I guess either they don't know about it or they do and they just don't care. He finally got over the stigma that was put on him for that. Because for a long time he was the 9/11 conspiracy guy. Well, now he's like he's a patriot, anti-New World Order guy. Like he was before 9/11.
Yeah, apparently,
in a lot of ways that's good.
Okay, Stuttering Chris in the chat room, he goes, I think I heard that Trump will launch a streaming news service called Trump TV, and I think they'll recruit Carlson and Hannity.
Well, I mean, that would be great. Well, I guess that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
I mean, he has enough money. He could probably launch whatever the heck he wanted.
I mean, if I were him, I would just buy Newsmax and own OAN TV as well and just put them together, and they already have the infrastructure, and just build off from that and create a super network.
And if he didn't do that, he should make some kind of deal with them. Be like, look, I'll create this thing, and you can come on as hosts, and we can all promote each other, and we can really build a media empire like we've never seen before.
It'll be the greatest media news outlet ever.
He could totally get away with doing something like that, and I think he would actually. He's got enough of a movement right now of people where they would totally just jump on board with it.
Right.
I mean, he definitely has a army of people that would do that. But yeah, I guess in some ways, I mean, we'll see. What's going to happen, probably from what I could tell, is after CNN has nothing to say about Trump anymore, they're just going to attack the public and just say Trumpism. We have to kill Trumpism, which will be a never-ending battle.
Yeah.
So that's how they're going to try to keep their stations alive. Although I hear that CNN is billions of dollars dead or something.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine them surviving much longer.
Oh, dude! If Trump buys CNN, that would be like checkmate, motherfucker. And then imagine if Trump's like, hey, AJ, here's a slot for you.
Oh man, that would just kill them. It would just kill them. Their soul would be dead inside. None of their money isn't. Their soul. They thought their soul was dead inside. That was just bad. That would put the nail in the coffin. They'd be pushing up daisies. Oh man, but yeah, no, that would be amazing. But I gotta tell you, it looks like we're gonna see some interesting directions with this media stuff. And, like I said, they're all going to lie to us about what's going on with the elections. They think they're saving their own behind, but they're not.
Their own
because the people are sick of it. People are sick of being lied to, watching people get hurt, and being told that they're not getting hurt when they're witnessing people around them getting hurt.
Like for real. Like what do you think is going on here?
And then of course, now they're trying to deny that the established order is trying to generate and create the great Reset, which is the talk of the town. You know, of course, you go to their website, they're telling you everything they want to do, and then the media is like, "Well, that doesn't exist. That's just crazy people say that." Don't look at the man behind the curtain. Pay no attention to that man.
He's the man in the corner. Boom, boom, boom.
But well, what's funny is you look at the Great Reset. You look at everything they're talking about, what they want to do, and then I remember a film that came out in 2007 called Endgame: Blueprint for Global Enslavement by Mr. Alex Jones.
Alejandro Jones.
And boy, is that film. It talks about practically everything these people are doing 10 plus years later to where we are today.
Right.
Maybe not everything in that film is listed by name, but the subject matter and the goal and agenda item list are lockstep, right in place.
Right.
It's remarkable. They talk about China in that film. They talk about climate change, carbon taxation stuff. They talk about making China the model of the world, which is exactly what these people are attempting to do. And they're trying to make China the world's premier economic nation of the planet, basically. And that's what their movie talks about 10 plus years ago. I mean, who would have freaking thought? And it only took COVID to help pave the way to make some of this effort possible. They're even admitting that. And then the TV and the media will act like, oh, well, crazy people think that. But by the way, they're right, but they're crazy. And, I mean, I even heard the other day that the World Economic Forum was deleting videos off their YouTube channel so people couldn't see what they were talking about.
Right.
With regard to how you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. And what comes to mind, which of course is in that film Endgame, is the Bertrand Russell quote where they're talking about how you as a slave will love your servitude and any kind of criticism of the powers that be would be psychologically impossible for you to do. And I got to tell you, all these people wearing the masks, running around scared of COVID, tattletale squads, and binocular squads, they're going to watch your building in New York City to see if people are wearing their masks or not. That is exactly what that is. It's all... Anybody hasn't seen that film. I mean, it's funny. You and me haven't seen that film in over, probably 10 plus years.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, these new people have never even heard of it.
No.
I think it's time that people see that film again. We might have to take the dust off the film and bring it back out and show people.
I might have to stream it.
About 10 years ago.
I might have to do a stream.
I think so. I think we might have to show that to the public again. I mean, sure, Jones, some people are going to be like, he's running around screaming about Bilderberg, and he looks kind of crazy in the film to some people. I mean, it doesn't bother me if he looks crazy or not, because I know what he's talking about is not crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's crazy, but it's true. And a lot of people don't know about this stuff. If you look at what that is talked about in that film, the stuff is being basically, it looks like they want to usher it in like next year. And they're actually, like, think about it, a year ago, none of the stuff we're seeing today was even going on. Nobody in their right mind would have imagined any of it being possible.
No.
Now we're hearing about Pennsylvania, they want to force you to wear a mask in your house. You're going to walk around your house with a mask. You're going to be like checkpoints and quarantine. They want to have documentation that, you got your vaccines. They want, in some countries, they're forced. I hear in Denmark, they're going to force people to take vaccines against their will. Mandated vaccines. And they're going to get rid of a lot of exemptions. I mean, they could get away with this stuff in Europe and elsewhere because they don't have a constitution like ours. But in America, the reason they haven't been able to do this, Tim Pool's right. We have the Constitution, as long as we keep it. And they really want to push this stuff. And this Constitution is in the way. They have to get rid of it And that's why they're debating on convincing the public that the Constitution is an archaic document that needs to be destroyed. That's why they're feeding these college kids who will become the leaders of tomorrow that the Constitution is an evil document. It's a white supremacist document that must be abolished.
Yeah. Oh, this just in. The network has decided to part ways with contributor John Solomon, the Daily Caller reported. Although Solomon has kept up appearances on Fox Business, viewers may have noticed that Solomon has been missing from Fox News since July. During those Fox Business appearances, the outlet stopped referring to Solomon as a Fox contributor. This led to speculations that Fox had dropped Solomon, and the Daily Caller has now confirmed that this is indeed the case. The reporter added, while Solomon's hits on Fox News have dried up in recent months, he has not appeared since July. He has remained a regular presence on the Fox Business Network's stridently pro-Trump show hosted by Lou Dobbs and Maria Bartiromo. In his recent appearance, he has been identified solely as the editor-in-chief of his right-wing digital outlet Just the News, or as the author of Fallout, his latest book, which was heartily endorsed by President Donald Trump. The last time he was identified as a Fox contributor on its airwaves was during an October 14th appearance on Bartiromo's morning show, FBN show. Solomon's Twitter account does not list Fox News in his bio. So.
Wow. That's fascinating. And that's the trend of the future, I think, if things continue in the direction they're going in.
They're just gonna they're just fucking themselves.
They are. They're screwing themselves to appease the illusion that they want to hang out with the cool kids, even though the cool kids don't want them to exist. They haven't figured it out yet. And this is I gotta say, this is a downfall trait of people who exist in the Republican and conservative side. They think, I've said it many times, I'll say it again, they still think we're having a debate with the far left. While the far left is gathering guns and bombs, literally throwing fireworks at people and killing people with guns. This is what I forgot to mention in D.C. a couple days ago. They confiscated several firearms from some of these people, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I don't believe that was on the Proud Boys side. I believe it was on the opposition side.
Right.
And it's illegal to have these objects in Washington, D.C. You know, I'm not in favor of it being illegal, but the point is that, you know, if we're going to go with their little rules, they're carrying things that, you know, you and I will end up probably in prison if we have in our possession. And they found this on these people. So, I mean, we know that the far left they have guns. They are building an arsenal. They are preparing for war. I know that a lot of times they're like, oh, we'll beat them because we have all the guns. The answer to that question is yes and no. We do have most of our guys openly have the guns, but we know the far left, the communist types, the revolutionary communist types, they certainly have guns. They are very pro-gun. They're not pro-Second Amendment. They're pro-gun. And they are not afraid to use them when that time comes. And we've seen examples where they have killed people with guns because they are very much ardent in their beliefs. So, yes, it's pretty clear. I mean, we know that these people are fighting to protect the established order, even though they have a twisted logic where they think they're attacking the establishment. And the funny thing is, while they attack us, the establishment is ushering in the great reset. which I think really the Endgame film is a perfect complementary documentary. They don't mention. I don't believe they use the term Great Reset, but I mean, if you look at the outline and what the film talks about, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's the same plan in motion. It's pretty clear to anybody who watches that film that's if they were to look at today's context, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's the same thing. We really should do a streaming of that film. It's a long film. It's over 2+ hours, but I think people, like, especially newer people who are just the kind of Trump supporters, they're like, oh yeah, I just joined the movement a couple months ago. It's the first time I voted for anything. I think those people need to see that film, and they need to be educated about the groups, organizations in it.
Yeah.
Because they just don't know. And oftentimes I feel like we forget to mention these things. Although I think I do a pretty good job on this podcast or show mentioning the Bilderberg Group or Trilateral Commissioner Council on Foreign Relations. But yeah, no, we have a lot of dark things ahead of us, but there are good solutions that we can follow. And I think at least I can say that when it comes to the Trump supporters, I don't think they're going to be conned as easily as they were years ago when Fox News said, oh, we're the opposition to the left. I mean, they were questioning Fox now. You didn't see that during the Obama age. You saw people, the neocons, con the American people into supporting all this New World Order stuff. And people continue going with Fox, acting like that was the resistance to the far left. Fox kind of jumped on the Trump bandwagon because they knew they could make money doing that, and they could keep their supporter base. And, they did. They had record profits from all the ratings they got. But now they want to act like, we're going to be resistant to the left, but we're going to throw Trump under the bus. And I don't know, that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So maybe people are starting to, see that things aren't adding up. And that could be a good thing for all of us. We just got to help guide them in the right direction with the right information. They're not hearing on TV. And that's where we come in with the info on the actual New World Order and the organizations that are doing this. And again, unfortunately, some of our former allies, they rag on us for supporting Trump. They're like, oh, you're just supporting the establishment. I've asked these people many times, where's your proof that he's a member of the New World Order? Provide it.
Yes.
Show me. Show he's a member of these groups. You could do that. I will call Trump out. And none of them in 4 years have ever done that. And until they do, unfortunately, I can't prove that Trump is part of their group. And I'm not going to lie and say he is, just because of whatever reason. Give me some proof. And nobody will. So, yeah, that's, they don't understand where we're coming from, why we would even support Trump. But, there's a lot going on here, Louis.
Yeah.
And, anybody who doesn't know what the Great Reset is, they need to look at the World Economic Forum, their YouTube channel. The YouTube channel has these videos on there. I'm trying to make copies of all this stuff before they get rid of some of it. They've already gotten rid of one video that I'm aware of, although I was able to find a copy of that video, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But you might all want to research this. They have books. They say explicitly that COVID-19 is the way that they're going to be able to justify much of what they're planning. So, I mean, and we know we're about to go into a dark winter. If Biden is the president, he is going to have the whole country locked down. I'm convinced by that.
Oh, no, he is. He is. That's what he wants to do.
He's not talking about what Antifa did over the weekend to the Trump supporters. He's completely quiet on it. It's like there's a total blackout. He won't even bring it up. So we know that if Biden's presidency, he's not going to condemn the far left. He's not even going to have him locked up or arrested. He's going to just give him.
Here's the funny thing: Trump has denounced white supremacy over 18 times,
And Antifa every time.
And Antifa every time. Freaking Biden, oh, they're just an idea. They're not a group. So then how's about you at least condemn the idea and the tactics that the people that support that idea perpetrate. No, let's not. Let's talk about your support of white supremacists. Like, first of all, I can't control who the fuck supports me. How the fuck is the president supposed to control who supports him?
That's even an argument anyway.
Yeah.
Any Yahoo can support somebody and be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it their fault? We know that that's a BS tactic. But I'm going to say this much. I was just watching Demolition Man the other night again because I like to periodically watch that to see how much progress in making our world just so similar to it. And I got to tell you, more and more stuff in that movie seems to be a parallel to this world today, especially with the COVID nonsense.
Right.
But it's funny. I'm watching the Raymond Cocteau, who's like the evil dictator of the world, and as you know, I don't mean to bring spoilers to this discussion, but I hope you've seen the movie.
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Not watch it.
I've seen the movie, and
I know you have.
Yeah.
The people haven't. It's like it's from the 90s. The point is this: Raymond releases a psycho, mad dog, lunatic named Simon Phoenix, Wesley Snipes' character.
Yeah,
and I'm going to use parallel. I feel like in a strange way, Simon Phoenix is basically Antifa, and Raymond Cocteau is like basically Biden, in a weird parallel, and they complement each other. Because Raymond in that movie needed Simon Phoenix to go kill the leader of the actual resistance against his oppressive authoritarian state, Edgar Friendly, who's Dennis Leary. So if you think about it, Antifa is kind of like, even though they don't like Biden or the establishment, they're the establishment's tool to destroy people like us, who we're like the Edgar Friendlies, who are out there fighting for constitutional rights, who are fighting for freedom. You should play his speech on air. You should play that speech that he gives about, what that world is about. It's an amazing speech, actually.
Okay, let me try to find it. What is it again?
Just type in Dennis Leary's speech, I think, on YouTube for Demolition Man, I mean, everything he says in that speech is spot on.
Okay.
That's what's happening here.
Here it is. Okay, Dennis Leary, Demolition Man. Power to the people. The power to the people, or
get that. I think that's try that.
Okay.
See if that works.
All right. Let me. Boom.
I always got good movie quote speeches for you.
I guess you were part of the Cocteau plan.
Greed, deception, abuse of power, that's no plan.
That's why everybody's down here?
You got that right. See, according to Cocteau's plan, I'm the enemy. Because I like to think. I like to read. I'm into freedom of speech and freedom of choice. I'm the kind of guy who likes to sit in a greasy spoon and wonder, gee, should I have the T-bone steak or the jumbo rack of barbecue ribs with the side order of gravy fries? I want high cholesterol. I want to eat bacon and butter and buckets of cheese, okay? I want to smoke a Cuban cigar the size of Cincinnati in a non-smoking section. I want to run through the streets naked with green jello all over my body reading Playboy magazine. Why? Because I suddenly might feel the need to, okay, pal? I've seen the future. You know what it is? It's a 47-year-old virgin sitting around in his beige pajamas drinking a banana broccoli shake singing, I'm an Oscar Mayer wiener. You live up top, you live Cocteau's way. What he wants, when he wants, how he wants. Your other choice? Come down here, maybe starve to death.
All right, then why don't you take charge and lead these people out of here?
I'm no leader. I do what I have to do. Sometimes people come with me. All I want to do is bury Cocteau up to his neck in shit and let him think happy, happy thoughts forever.
All right. Is that it?
Well, yeah, that's a speech. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it's.
I think that's our society.
Yeah.
I think that's where we're heading right now. Because, like I said, you look at who's in charge, Let's just use New York State as an example. In New York City, on a microcosm in your situation, you live the way these tyrants tell you how they want you to live, what they want you to do, or you basically can live in a sewer.
Yeah.
This is where Dennis Leary in that movie is living in. They're living in underground sewer systems, while all the people up top get to do whatever Cocteau says. So what I'm saying is that if you watch the premise of the movie, basically Dennis Leary's character is creating all sorts of chaos above for the Cocteau plan, and he's like, I socially engineered society to be so obedient to me that they don't actually know how to do what I need them to do to stop Edgar Friendly because, well, he's not trained like a dog. He's not wearing his face muzzle like we do. He's not obeying the orders that is demanded of him. So what did Cocteau have to do? He had to send a crazed psycho killer out to go find Edgar Friendly and go kill him, which is Wesley Snipes' character, which is the Antifa type people.
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, he has Antifa on a leash, but Antifa hates him. It's like they hate Joe Biden, but Joe Biden has them on a leash. He'll let them do whatever they want so long as they get the job done. But if they don't do what they're told, well, they're going to have to be dealt with too. But Joe Biden obviously doesn't know how to stop us. He needs, like, brutal psychopaths on the street to do it for him.
Yeah.
You see where I'm going with the parallels here?
Yes.
I feel so. If you watch the whole movie, I recommend you sit down and watch the whole movie again, just to but do it in the context of looking at the society we live in today. I think it'll make a lot more sense to you what I'm saying if you do that. It's really it's like I said. Most
so basically, the problem
he's never thought that would have been like a reality that we'd ever see, but I'm telling you, man.
So basically, well, yeah, because of the virus, I definitely see it. Everyone is neutered now.
Yeah, basically society has been socially engineered to be extremely obedient to these power hungry like psychos. But the thing is, like, there are still people who are in the obstacles in the way of these psycho power junkies in charge. And in the movie, you even hear like the assistant for Cocteau saying, "Oh, well, we have plans to purge the only remaining element of criminal behavior in the city, which is in the sewers." They had a plan. They had a plan with sending Wesley Snipes to kill their leader.
Right.
So it's like them sending Antifa to go out and like destroy regular people and make sure they submit to their authority. So yeah, I don't know. I just see a lot of parallels between that. And it's just so crazy how it's like very similar to real life, more so than what we're told on TV.
Right. So I think that's all we got. Anything else you want to add before we say goodnight?
Well, I guess we should try to put some positive solutions out there, just because we talk about a lot of negative crap or perceived negative crap. It's only negative. We don't take action to do something about it. Like I said, I did see some hope. I saw a lot of positive people at the rally. They had a positive reception of the Proud Boys. Like, we were, people there were heroes. And I think if we, we have to resist this at all costs. We have to support Donald Trump's effort to, not declare, letting Biden have the presidency, at least to the last minute.
Right.
We have to do everything in our power to resist that. And we can do that. We can, by exposing information that we know to be true to the public. If the media is not going to do it, we do it peer to peer. We do that to our neighbors, people willing to listen. And we expose that. Obviously watching Endgame, I recommend that because people are not familiar with that film. They should definitely check that out. It'll be and do research. Go sit down and research everything that's talked about in that film. Go on the internet, go read books, and find out what Alex Jones is talking about, so you not telling yourself, oh, he's a guy who talks about the frogs are turning gay or something.
Yeah.
But, you know, there are a lot of positive things we could do. We could do outreach in our community. We do outreach around people we are in contact with. And we have to do everything we can to resist all these tyrannical efforts, especially in, you know, New York. Did you know that in Boston, a friend of mine told me that they're forcing people to wear masks outdoors even?
That's just crazy. That is
crazy.
That is crazy. Like,
but that's what's happening, and people we have to figure out how we can tell these people and who think they're going to take charge of our life that no, we're not. No, you're not. You're not going to do that. We're going to take charge of our life, not you. And I think more people need to start considering that. I think if we normalize saying no to these people, let's make that a normal thing where we refuse to comply with these nonsensical things. I think if more people do that, maybe something will give. I mean, I saw when I was at Penn Station on my way home at like 3 a.m, I saw these cops arguing with this black dude who was screaming. He was basically saying, like, I know he was using the typical, oh, this is racist type comment, but it was more than that. He was talking about how COVID was basically being used as a tool to suppress people and prevent them from having a warm place to sit. And this and that. And I think he was making valid points. And the cops were basically being enforcers to oppress not just him, but all of us. And, you know, people got to speak up against this. And unfortunately, the cops are in the middle of this. The cops are going to have to make a decision, too.
Yeah.
They're going to have to decide, are they going to serve the New World Order, or are they going to stand by the people? And, you know, sooner or later, you're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to decide where you stand. So the good cops, hopefully they stand with the people. Bad cops will get weeded out. But then we have to start figuring out positive solutions because we do have a dark winter ahead of us. And I hope that we can do something to change that. And I guess the other thing I'll say is if you want to follow the work I do have a YouTube channel. Although I haven't updated it much lately, I plan on doing a massive update next year. And I'm probably going to start a separate channel and do like an archives of like stuff from like 2007 leading up to like 2017, plus all new stuff. I got a lot of footage that I filmed recently that I'm going to be putting out a lot of the Trump rally stuff. Hopefully this week you'll even get to see it, Louis, and you know some of the stuff I talked about. But yeah, you can find that channel. It's called GB0083 with all the newer stuff. I still have to figure out what I'm going to call the secondary channel as an archive channel. Probably have BitChute and all that, but I don't have Facebook anymore. I've been totally censored. They Stalinized me. I do have a Parler, although I haven't used it lately, and I'll get back into that sooner or later, which is at GB0083. And yeah, so I don't know. That's basically my handles. And you know, obviously, you know, I'm around. I like to come on the show occasionally and talk about different topics. And I hope to do more of that in the near future.
Alrighty then. So, like to thank everyone for watching and listening to the Crotch Shot Radio Show, where we kick the issues in the balls. You can follow me on Parler at Louis B. I'm still on Twitter for the time being. In fact, I was recently followed by the band Trapped. And it turns out they the lead singers are Proud Boys. So, hooroo, my brother. And as always, so keep just subscribe to me on either YouTube. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, where I'm also on Spotify. You could get me on the Spotify's iHeartRadio, podcasts.com. You basically wherever you'll find the podcast, just search for the Crotch Out Radio Show and you will find me, and just subscribe. It's free. And feel free, and actually if you want to help support the show, you guys could buy through Amazon through me using my link tinyurl.com/Louis B, and it'll just take you to Amazon, and you can shop for Amazon. It doesn't add more to the price. The prices stay the same. I just get credit for the sale. That's tinyurl.com/Louis B. So again, thank you for listening, and as always, let me get this thing. Let's get the ending song. Oops. And as always, from my house to your house, mahalo.
That's the end of my show. Donk.
Might have let me become a man for sure. All day and every time. What's the next step? Leg is holding my life. What's next for me to learn?